So we got another action camera. Actually, we haven't done an action camera or dedicated action camera in a while. We did a update to one a couple of days ago, but this one's a new one. And this is from a company called Apeman, and it's a company that I've seen a fair bit on Amazon when you're perusing the Amazon, looking for, I want to say, a less expensive option other than like a GoPro or an Insta360 or something like that. They always come up. So Apeman actually reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to try out our A87, which is this one right here? And I was like, yeah. Let's give it a go, shall we? And here it is. So we're gonna take a look at what comes in the box, and then you and I are gonna actually go for a walk. Well, I'm gonna go for a walk. You guys are gonna stay sitting on your couch or whatever it is, because that sounds good as well, or wherever you are sitting. And we're gonna see what the quality is like. All right, coming up. All right, my friends, so here it is on Amazon. Apeman A87 action camera, 4K 60 FPS touchscreen sports camera, 8x zoom, EIS, so it has image stabilization, which is great. It comes with a waterproof housing and a bunch of accessories. Currently, and this is Canadian, I will put links to this Amazon listing as well as Amazon listings to Amazon.com, etc. But right now, $149 with, and again, I don't know if this will be there when you guys get the opportunity to click on this, but right now Canadian has a $20 coupon, which will bring it down to $129. So that's actually pretty good, as long as the quality is good. So we're looking at, it does say here HDR, loop recording. So if you want to use it like as a dash cam for your car, webcam, 8x zoom, time-lapse, self-timer, slow motion, burst. Again, we're going to be trying just to see what the image quality is. I'm going to set it into 4K 24 if that's an option, and we'll kind of go from there. What else does it have here? Original touchscreen and anti-shaking, very good. Various photo and recording modes, yep. 40-meter waterproof and accessory bag. Of course, that 40 meters is going to be with the waterproof housing on it, and high-quality waterproof case, which is good because you don't want a cheap waterproof case, because once it's in the water and it starts to leak, then that's never any good. You guys can go to their website and look at all the different options and specs and all that kind of stuff if you so choose. But look at this guy right here. He's on one of those weird flippy dooey things. That's right, flippy dooey. And this, all kinds of things that I would do this. Yeah, I would do this. And I would like to try this. I'd also like to try that, but I probably won't. Anyways, we got our knife. I don't even know if we need a knife. Comes in a nice box though, I have to say that, right? It's got everything laid out nice here. And it's a little different than you see a lot of other action cams, because a lot of them really try to mimic GoPro, and they come in that really vertical box with the presentation like, oh, here's our camera. Which is cool, but these guys went a different route, which is nice. We'll flip this over. And we hope you are satisfied. Here's their support, which I also like. It's not hard to find. They got it right there when you open the box. Oh, that's kind of cool. Hello. Yeah, hi. It comes in a cool little case. That's all kinds of nice, actually. Apeman, you definitely know that this is from them. All right. That's already a plus. That's a huge plus, because if you have to go out and find or buy yourself like a little case for your action camera, that's going to cost you 20, 30 bucks for sure off of Amazon. And it's not going to be designed for their camera. So I think that's a lovely little throw in. Wow, you get a bunch of stuff here. Holy smokes. And it's all laid out really nice. Okay, so we got the camera. Camera's sitting in the waterproof housing. We got one battery, two batteries, bunch of different mounts. So a lot of these are like inverse of 90 degrees. I love that they got little spacers for everything. Even one for like a tripod style, if you want to hook that in there. You got a little clamp style, so this is great if you want to mount this like on your belt, or you want to mount it on your backpack or whatever it is. You got this one here, which is like the inverse, so if you want to mount this on an actual tripod, you have that. You got a little remote, you got a bicycle mount, and you got all the, there's a little J hook, and a naked case, which is good. I actually use the naked case way more than I use like a waterproof case, because this way you get some audio as well. And going out today, this is probably what I'll be using right here. Plus you get a second door for your waterproof case, and this is the non-waterproof case. So you'll see that usually they have little almost like air slots in them. So if you need it more for like dust protection, or maybe like a little bit of waterproofing, but not a lot, because it does have gaps where things can get in. It does help with sound, as well as it also helps with fogging. So if you're in a scenario that you're getting a lot of fog, like the case is fogging up, the lens is fogging up, then getting some extra airflow in can be really nice. And yeah, so this comes there. On this side, you get, my God, this is like the little strap, which is going to go with your remote. You get a USB, micro USB, so micro, more adapters. You get a little, like a tether strap, which is nice. You get some 3M or just some stickies, little sticky guys to go in there. What else do you get? Zip ties to get them even more secure. Another bunch of Velcro straps, and the actual user manual and a cleaning cloth. You're just jammed full of stuff. And manual, like, that's a good size. Yep, nothing wrong with that. I like that they didn't be like, so what we're gonna do is make the manual so tiny that nobody can actually get it. And it comes with one of these. So we all know this is like a SIM card removal tool. It's for something. I'm not sure what. I'm sure if we go into the manual, we'll figure that out. But I'm not gonna. Really, I just want to kind of look at this. The rest of this is kind of going away. But I love that you get all this, and I love that it all comes in a case. That's a whole bunch of fantastic, because it's just easy. Everything's just laid out nice. Very cool. All right, here it is in the case. Of course, it's got a whole bunch of stickers, please remove. So we will start a removal process. Probably has one on the back as well. Yep, tells you how to actually open the case. Yep, that's coming off. And this has a little trigger on the top. You just gotta push it forward and it snaps off. And you are good to go. Pop that out. And there it is. More little stickers on there. Nice. And one on the back. Now this doesn't have a battery in it, but it is, like if you've held a GoPro in your hand or anything like that, this is gonna feel a lot lighter. Now that's got some perks in the fact that it's light, but it also just makes it feel not as premium, I'm gonna say, as if you were to buy like a GoPro or an Insta360 or anything like that. It's definitely like really, really light. But, you know, being light has its perks. The one thing that we really want to know is, does the quality look any good? Is it any good? So what I'm gonna do here is, just so you guys can see, there's a little pull here too. So you pull that back to pop the battery out. Now that's not as simple, I guess, as you would think. Pop battery. Pop battery. Maybe you can get your fingernail in there, maybe. Pop battery. Pop battery. So maybe that's what this SIM card remover thing is for. It's just to help you maybe get the battery out, because I'm having problems with using my fingernail. So this pulls down, and then maybe you just kind of get that in there. There. Well, that helps for sure, and your battery is going to go in there. So maybe if you had different fingernails, you could have better. And then, does it need anything to get it back in there? You just kind of slide that in, I guess. Okay, going back in, easy. But this, unless you got like bigger nails than me, this little pin thing is going to be very handy for that. All right, but we know now. We know. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge up the batteries. It does come with two. I'm just going to take one, and we're gonna go for a walk. Yeah, just to see what the quality of this is like. Because really, that's kind of what's important. All right, coming up. Alright guys, so we are doing a test where we're going to walk around through here again with this lovely little camera, and you're going to be able to see some of the image quality. We're going to shoot a bunch of stuff into the sun, away from the sun, stuff with a lot of details, walking, etc, etc, and you'll hopefully be able to hear some of the audio whenever we start talking. Alright, let's go for our walk. Alright, so we have the camera right now out at arm's reach. It's actually sitting on a Gorilla Pod, so you guys know. It's in that in-between weather, you know, where it's like when you're walking you get really warm, but it's cold enough so that you're like a little sweaty, and then it just kind of freezes. You know what I mean? Alright, anyways, you guys will be able to get an idea of the width. We have this set as wide as it can go. With the EIS turned on, and you guys will be able to get a good audio test as well as see what the stabilization is like as we kind of walk through here. We'll also get some just nice steady shots because those are just nice. All right. Tired today. Alright, so one of the nice things I've noticed with this camera, and not all, I want to say budget-friendly action cameras do this, is the touchscreen is actually very responsive even though it's cold out. So right now it's about just above 0 degrees, and usually for most, again, budget action cams, the touchscreen just, it's not very good. But I've had no issues with it at all. I'm able to very quickly be able to go through all the menus and adjust settings and things like that if I need to, which is a big plus, especially for those of us that are shooting in possibly colder weather. So nice perk for sure. All right, we're about halfway through our walk, and it's lovely out. I'd be okay if winter just stayed like this. Yep. All right, more walking. Alright, so almost done our walk. You guys have seen some of the footage. We're just going to snap a couple more shots down by the water, and that should be good for today. Start our walk home. Yep. Oh, it's so nice. Alright guys, a little bit more footage coming up. Alright guys, so we're almost done the walk. Coming around the last little bit. Figured I'd get some more walking footage just to see how it is. Get a lot of detail behind me. So there's a lot of trees and a lot of barren wilderness, I guess. But we'll see how well it actually does stabilizing it. I'm thinking what I may do maybe next week is, you know, the big competition for all these budget cameras really is the GoPro Hero 7. So in a follow-up video, I think what we'll do is bring it back out here with the GoPro, and we'll put them, you know, head to head, because I think that's a good competition, so that you guys can kind of figure out if, you know, you want to, well, pretty much double in price to get up to the GoPro with no accessories versus this real, like, complete kit with just about every accessory that you need to get you started. So that'll be in a follow-up video. But we're almost at the end of the walk, and a couple more clips, and then I gotta go home, take a look at the footage, and we'll do a final thoughts. All right. All right, guys, so we are back home now, and it was nice. That was a nice little walk. So I've had a chance to look at the footage that came out of this little camera, and we have the camera over here. So as you can see, we had it in its little naked case. The camera itself doesn't have like a tripod mount or anything like that, so you do have to kind of use one of the cases, at least either the enclosed waterproof case or this one, to be able to mount it. So I had this on a GorillaPod, just so you guys kind of know what it was. So a few things. The audio actually surprised me. It's quite good. Of course, if you put it in the underwater waterproof case, the audio is going to be garbage, but that's all of them. So that waterproof case just stops that from happening. But I was okay, totally okay with the audio that came out of this. I thought that was quite good. The colors, and it's hard to kind of explain colors because you guys don't necessarily see what I'm actually seeing, so you have to just take my word for it that the colors that this thing is picking up is actually quite accurate. So it's not, or doesn't seem to be oversaturated or anything like that. The colors seem to be actually quite good. Now, even though it was mixed, it's overcast, and I was shooting into the sun, and I had the sun behind me, etc., etc. The footage does seem to have a little bit of noise in it, and I was trying to figure out why, and I honestly, I don't know. A little bit of noise in it, is it a big deal? Not really, because for one, you could easily clean that up without question, but you know, I'm kind of nitpicking a little bit on the camera. So is there a little bit, it seems like a little bit of grain in there? I think so. Is it a horrible thing? No. But just be aware that it's there. Frame rates. So you can shoot 4K 60, 4K 30, and that's it. So I was hoping that I was going to be able to shoot 4K 24. I couldn't. So just realized too, maybe some of the hiccups, like the little, if there's any kind of stutters, especially within motion, any kind of movement, just realize that maybe because we're running 30 frame footage in a 24 frame timeline. So there's going to be some conversion happening there. It is what it is. You know, I would love to have seen 24 frame, but again, we're kind of shooting it with a, you know, budget friendly camera. So if you want 24 frames, well, get yourself a GoPro, I guess. Image stabilization. That's kind of the last one that we'll kind of talk about, image stabilization. And, you know, it's okay. It's definitely better than if there's no image stabilization at all, for sure. Have I seen other action cams, or if you compare it to like a GoPro Hero 7, GoPro Hero 7's definitely better, without question. It's got way better stabilization. This one's okay, like especially when you're kind of shooting yourself, it's definitely, you can tell or see it in action, especially if you don't necessarily look at yourself, but look at the background, you can see that it's trying to stabilize. The other thing that you just kind of watch here, and I'll just kind of do this here. Here was a bunch of footage that I shot. You guys will see it on the screen here, just a small one here. Is that, you know, when you watch this, there's still a little bit, and every bit of this footage is handheld, so you can kind of look at it there. There's a little bit of shake. That's a bit of me. My hope was that the stabilization was going to get rid of that. It didn't. But, you know, if you're in a program, let's say, and I'm just using Final Cut right now, and we'll just drop this on the end. We'll take the exact same footage and put it here. If you were to take this and just run a stabilizer on it, you know, nothing fancy. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just clicking the stabilize button and letting it do its thing. No going in there and figuring out what the best settings are, etc., etc. I'm just like, have at her. You know, I have a feeling that because it does shoot wide, I was really happy with how wide this camera shoots. There's a lot of budget cameras that say they shoot, you know, X degrees, and I don't know if they do. This one, yeah, it's good and wide, so I'm a fan of that for sure. But you know, it looks like, are we done with our stabilization? It looks like we may be. So I'm gonna just bring this playhead to the beginning here, and what we'll do is we'll go full screen so you guys get a chance to see this. And now, now this looks great. And the bonus of it is that because this just shoots so wide, it has so much information for it to utilize to stabilize it. So being able to run a stabilizer on this afterwards gets any of those little micro jitters out that the camera may have. This looks very, very usable right now. But you also may be able to see that noise that I'm kind of talking about. There's just almost like a little flicker in there. But look at that, stable. It's super stable right now. So, and I just clicked the stabilize button. So again, because it's so wide, it has no problems getting rid of those little kind of micro jitters that are up there. Yeah, that's good. No complaints. And it's a very nice, I like to say, like a neutral color. It doesn't have a big vibrancy boost or anything like that. They just said, let's give it a neutral profile, a nice flat image, and it actually looks quite good. So you guys have seen the footage. I'm not here to tell you if this is a camera you should get or a camera that you shouldn't get. You get to see the quality, the sound. Actually, I thought the audio was quite good. No external mic support that I know of. Comes with a ton of accessories, which is great. Comes with a carry case, which is great. 2 batteries, also really good. And just so you guys know, I shot, you know, for about an hour or so on and off, and the battery never ever came off of like full. Now I didn't shoot for like a full hour, but you know, that's pretty good, especially that it was out in the cold. So it's doing really good. They are brand new batteries, of course, so just take that into, you know, into your thought process, I guess. And there you go. This is the Apeman A87. Kind of a nice little kit, actually. I'll put links down below if you guys are interested in this camera. I think it's a pretty good deal, especially if you can get the 20 bucks off here in Canada. But I will put links down to like Amazon.com and things like that if you think it's a camera that's going to fit your needs. Because really, that's what's important. Doesn't matter if it fits my needs. It matters if it fits your needs. All right, guys. Again, links down below if you're looking at picking up this camera. Buy it through our links. Helps the channel. Always supported. And we'll leave you there. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that little bell. And we'll see you guys next video. Should come up tomorrow. Later, my friends. Oh yeah, don't go anywhere quite yet. I actually took some photos. And the photos actually, again, because the color's so nice and accurate, I was like shocked. It doesn't have huge dynamic range, but again, what do you expect from a budget action camera? But I have some photos here that I'm going to just kind of put here. These are photos that I actually took while we were out just, you know, doing the walk. And here now are kind of the same photos that I've played with. So I've actually taken them into Lightroom and just kind of seen if you could do anything with them. Because, you know, some of us just like to be able to play with our photos. So you guys get a chance to see what I did with some of the pictures to kind of make them feel a little more wintry. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you there again. Later.